Okay, so welcome to yet another video on this 5-day series. We're doing 11th of Jan, and this is grade 6, grade 7 topics that we are going to discuss. First one says A is directly proportional to B squared. So we can say A is some constant K times B squared. Now we're going to plug in the values of A and B. So when A is 500, that is K times B would be 10 squared. So I can say 500 is K times 100. So obviously K would be equal to 5. Excuse me. Now that we know K is 5, I can rewrite the equation as A is 5 times B squared. And all we have to do now is find the value of A when B is 20. So that means we're going to do 20 squared and we're going to times that by 5. So A is 5 times 20 squared, which is 400. 400 times 5, so that would be 2000. So A is equal to 2000. A book weighs 200 grams to the nearest 10 grams. We need to work out the total of the upper bound of the total weight of books. The most common mistake that people tend to do is they first find the total weight and then they tend to take the error interval. But you first need to find your error intervals. That is the first step. It's not the other way around. Find the error intervals first. So we know it is 200 grams and it is to the nearest 10 grams. So the nearest 10 gram is 210 on the right and 190 on the left. But those aren't your error intervals. Your error intervals are going to be in the middle of these two. So that's going to be 195 grams less than or equal to the weight less than the middle of that, which is 205 grams. So it's not your extreme left and extreme right. It's the middle of these two. That is your error interval. Now, we need the maximum weight that 20 of these books can have. So because I need the maximum weight, I am going to go with the upper bound. So the upper bound would be 205, and if I imagine all the 20 books are having that upper bound, it would be 205, multiply that by 20, which would be 410. My bad. Yeah, that would be 410, and then add a 0, so that's 4 kilograms and then 100 grams. Right, so first find the error intervals, then do your calculations, not the other way around. So first you find the error intervals, then you find the calculations. Number 3 is a question on lines. So line 1 has a gradient, passes through the point. What is the equation? So pretty obvious. We start with y equals mx plus c. We know the gradient is 1/4, so we can replace that with 1/4. We know the point, so this is x and that is y, which means we're going to replace y with 10. We're going to replace x with 3. So we now have 10 is equal to 3/4 plus c. To find c, we're going to kick the 3/4 to the other side, so that becomes 10. Take away 3/4 equals c. Now if you think about it, you can do this quite quickly. 3/4 is 0.75, so 10 take away 0.75, that would be 9.25, right? So y is equal to 1/4 x plus, if you want to convert 9.25, you could do 925 over 100. You don't have to simplify. Nobody asks you to simplify, so you can do that quickly and you'll still get the marks. Write down the equation of a line that is perpendicular to line 1. So nothing has been mentioned about the point. So the only condition is it just has to be perpendicular. So we know the gradient of line 1 is 1/4. Because it is perpendicular, the gradient of line 2 would be negative reciprocal of that. So you put a negative, flip that number, that'll be 4. Because 4 over 1 is 4. So we could write y equals negative 4x, and you can choose any number because they haven't really mentioned what the other point is. So any number of your choice could be the y-intercept. So the answer for question 2 is y equals minus 4x plus any number of your choice. Number 3 is a graph question. So it says write down an estimate for the turning point of the graph. So let's see if we can figure this one out. So there's my turning point somewhere here. So 1 point, because we're going up in 2 lines, this would be 1 point minus 1.2 minus 1.4, and I think it's exactly in the middle of minus 1.4 and minus 1.6. So I'm going to take the x coordinate to be minus 1.5 because it's exactly, feels like in the middle of minus 1.4, minus 1.6, so I'm going to take that. Now the y coordinate I think is on the first line, so that's one line below the minus 4, so that would be minus 4.2. So the turning point I would say would be minus 1.5 as the x coordinate, minus 4.2 as the y coordinate. Write down an equation of the mirror line of the graph. Now if you draw a mirror line of the graph, the technique is the mirror line would exactly pass through the turning point of your graph. So if I want to draw the mirror line would also cut the x-axis at the point minus 1.5. So I know minus 1.5 is the key number because it is cutting the x-axis, and because it is cutting the x-axis, I would say the mirror line is x equals minus 1.5, and that is your 5 questions for the day. I'll see you in another video.